Supercharged motorcycles were first mass-produced by Kawasaki in 2015, when the 300 horsepower track-only H2R and the more moderate 200 horsepower road-going H2 were introduced. Next came the touring model, the H2 SX, which borrowed its engine from the well-liked Ninja 1000 SX and made a few tweaks to make it more suitable for touring. The 998cc four-cylinder engines at the core of the H2 SX SE has been significantly modified to provide slightly more torque in the mid-range and to make it cleaner for Euro 5 testing. The inline-4's performance numbers are pretty outstanding. It can produce up to 200 horsepower at 11,000 revolutions per minute and a powerful 137.3 Nm of torque at 8,500 revolutions per minute. You can appreciate the wonders of supercharging when you compare it to the 1-liter Kawasaki superbikes, where the ZX-10R produces somewhat more power at 203 horsepower but at a faster 13,200 revolutions per minute. In the meantime, the H2 SX SE maximum torque of 114.9 Nm is not only lower but also higher in the rev range at 11,400 revolutions per minute. Therefore, the advantages of forced induction in terms of power and torque are evident, but the advantages in terms of emissions and fuel consumption are sometimes overlooked. For years, automakers have been adding turbochargers and superchargers to small-capacity engines, achieving power levels that are equivalent to bigger power plants but using far less gasoline. And Kawasaki has profited from the same findings, with the H2 SX's fuel economy equivalent to its liter tourer, the Ninja 1000 SX or its adventure-style Versys 1000. But the Ninja H2 SX SE isn't simply unique because of its engine. The large green bike also has a few other interesting features. The SX SE is the first production bike to be fitted with Bosch's Advanced Rider Assistance Systems, ARAS, which makes use of radar sensors positioned on the front and back of the bike and is another example of technology that is already standard in modern vehicles. This, together with a 6-axis IMU and a new FI-AQ with torque demand capabilities, allows the Ninja to have an adaptive cruise control system, which automatically modifies the bike's speed to maintain a certain gap from the car in front. In addition to this, there is a forward collision warning system and a blind spot detection system that activates lights in the rearview mirrors when it detects an unauthorized person seated there. As I mentioned earlier, you have to read the handbook for this bike. And the story doesn't end there. There are a plethora of additional electrical tools, as one might anticipate, many of which are quite helpful when delving into the capabilities of a 200 horsepower supercharged rocket. To ensure a seamless transition from braking to acceleration, Kawasaki's corner management function gathers data from many sources, including the IMU. This entails regulating brake force, engine power and electronic suspension to keep the motorcycle as balanced as possible, while cornering ABS and traction control guarantee you don't end up in a heap if available traction changes. A quickshifter, engines brakes control, wheelie control, switchable power modes, which alter characteristics, and launch control are other features. As this is the premium SE version of the H2 SX, this means it's fitted with the outstanding Showa Skyhook semi-active suspension, that employs all the information it collects from the IMU and other sensors to modify the suspension via solenoid valves. You may pick different riding modes by changing the 3 basic settings: hard, normal, and soft. Alternatively, you can customize the settings in rider mode. The suspension stroke, which decides how bumpy the road is and, for the first time, how much lean happens under acceleration and braking, is electrically adjusted to match your speed while riding. Additionally, it reacts quickly. 1 millisecond is all it takes for the suspension to adjust before you ever notice a bump. Unless you wish to access the gasoline tank, you won't need to fish around in your pocket for the H2 SX key since it fits snugly. All you have to do to turn a headstock knob and start the bike is place the key close to the engine. In order to alert other riders when you brake too forcefully, there are flashing indicators, a tire pressure monitoring system, and hill hold control. Actually, the only item lacking from this premium touring bike is baggage. Brightly colored panniers are an optional addition, which seems excessive given the $47,000 price tag. Ultimately, Kawasaki has the new spin system, and there are always applications these days. This enables you to perform all of the standard functions, such as managing music, calls, and messages, by first connecting your phone to the bike and then pairing it with a Bluetooth headset. Beyond that, though, the spin system allows you to install and manage particular programs on the dashboard of the SX.